Sharon's back now because she is dreaming of transforming her bunkie into her own she shed, which is totally what I would do. So if you could do anything with this space and it's just all for Sharon, what would your dream bunkie be?
All right, Tracy. Well, since we're dreaming, I do love the fact that on our property we have the bunkie for guests. It's more of a bedroom, a place for the kids to hang out. Yeah. But if it was my own bunkie, I would absolutely want a little art studio in the woods, a workshop for all my projects, my own space.
Yes, and then you're inspired by the nature around you,
right?
And you can see it all, and you're in this gorgeous space. So
exactly.
That's sort of how you have designed this gorgeous space, and I love it. It's cute, it's warm, it's comfy.
Yeah.
Walk us through how you would do this in your dream. Let's dream together.
While we're dreaming. Okay, so I marked off the approximate 11 by 9 that is my bunkie, 99 square feet. So you can see that it's not a lot of space, but there is enough if we, if we use it wisely. So I think in the bunkie I have around 12-foot ceilings because there is a loft. So it's pretty good. So it's kind of like the studio here. We've got lots of space. But I wanted it to just sort of accentuate the airiness. So I wanted to use a nice light color on the walls. So again, in my bunkie, it's spruce. But I'm going to use a solid stain on it because it's only 3 seasons. It's not insulated. So I'm using exterior solid stain. And this color is Nature's Symphony.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it?
It's very flattering.
It absolutely is.
It's a beautiful, like, soft, warm
every
pink.
Skin tone, everybody looks great with it. So I think that's a good start. So I've got that nice neutral color. And then it allows you to focus on the view outside, too, because it's pretty neutral. Yes. So I've got my paint color. But then the other thing that's really important in a small space, we talk about this all the time on the show, Trace, is multi-purpose furniture. And I think that makes a big difference. So
they all have to work and do more than one thing, most of the pieces here. And that's what you have going on. So give us the tour.
Okay, so let's start over with this awesome table. Now, IKEA is amazing for multi-purpose furniture, so I love going to them for that, and I fell in love with this gate leg table.
It's beautiful.
So, looks like a desk. Yeah. Acts like a desk, perfect work surface, but it actually pops up if you want it to, and I can turn my art studio into a dinner party and have 6 people if I want to.
That's a good party in this space.
Right?
That's a hot party. I like it.
It's like a kitchen party, right?
Yes.
So, perfect for that situation. Lots of purposes. The chair, it swivels. It can move up and down, so I can use it when I'm painting. I can use it to sit down.
Oh, that's nice.
Another great piece.
Yeah.
And the Busco rattan chair. Always want to bring a little bit of nature inside, so I think that rattan does that so well. Yeah. And the other wonderful thing about it is the design is so open that although it's big and cozy and I can sit in it and read a book, it doesn't feel visually very big. Yeah. And if you have a covered porch, which I do in my bunkie, you can bring this outside. You can sit outside and watch the sun go down, have a glass of wine, and chill. Oh,
that kind of sounds perfect. So it's a big enough chair, like my bum would enjoy itself in that chair.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't feel big and clunky and chunky.
That's the key, right? Yeah. It's very open weave, so that's awesome. And then for comfort, I think having an indoor-outdoor rug would be wonderful, but hey, this is my bunkie.
You do what you want.
So I decided, I love the handmade line at IKEA. It's wool, which wool is actually pretty durable, surprisingly. So I can roll it up when I'm painting, but I think it's nice and cozy on your feet, especially in the fall and the spring. So I'm going with that, and of course, a little cart that you can move around. Cool. Those are the kinds of things you want to think about for all your supplies.
There's paint in it now, but picture alcohol. Like, you can do whatever you want with this cart. It's your bunkie.
Exactly.
And I think a space like a bunkie, it needs a rug. It ties it all together and it makes it a warm, comfy space. So, of course, it's an art studio.
Right.
You've got this gorgeous easel. And so maybe we should create some art.
I am going to show you, Tracy. I've been obsessed with clouds, and so this was one of my, pandemic paintings with my Benjamin Moore paint samples. But I think it's actually an easy thing to do, and I used to do a lot of painting, in the day on ceilings and little kids' rooms to paint a cloud. So I think it's a good thing to start with. So I'm going to show you. You're only going to have a little tiny bit of paint. It's pretty easy, but what you start with is the clouds. So I painted Chantilly lace as the base coat, and then you're kind of painting in the sky. So as soon as you reverse think, it makes it a lot easier. So I will, can you hold the palette for me?
Absolutely. This makes me feel very professional.
Right. You're just kind of rubbing it gently in. And it doesn't look like a lot, but when you stand back, you can see it. So you give that a go.
I'm holding it like
Look
am
at
I
you.
holding it
Perfect.
right? Like
Yes,
I'm holding it like a
absolutely.
blush brush. Okay.
That works.
So I can just put it wherever I feel.
Exactly. And
Wherever I want less cloud.
And the nice thing is, if you do it and you think, oh, it's too blue sky, I want more clouds, you could go in afterwards with the Chantilly lace and add a bit more cloud. Now, I tried to
Okay.
keep it simple with only a few colors. So that's Harbor Haze, light blue. Let's say we want to put a tiny little bit of dark blue. I'm going to steal a little bit of your palette there.
Oh,
so,
you're going to give it some depth.
right? Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
And you can really do that with just a few colors. So I'm going to
Yeah.
kind of put a little bit. And you know what? Again, it looks like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But when you keep blending it in,
Yeah.
you can sort of see. And the other thing is, you could just stick with blues. But in my painting that was our inspiration,
So nice.
I actually put little bits of peach, so it looks like the sun is kind of coming through the clouds. So you can, play around and put little bits of yellow, orange, peach, a little bit of violet if you want it to be sort of a dark, moody night. So
This is so good. And
Isn't it
tell me,
fun?
were you dreaming about being an airplane?
yes,
Is that what was happening there with that art?
absolutely.
It's so beautiful. My biggest takeaway, you start with the clouds. That is so good. Thank you so much for this. It's very therapeutic.